don't know if we're calling this season 2, season 3. We are back. It's been months, guys. Some of you guys think we probably got abducted by aliens, but we here, man.
Oh yeah, man. It's been one of those rides here recently, man. But the ride has been good. It's had some goods, a lot more good than a lot more down.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna get into that in a second, man. But we are so grateful to be back with you here on the Alpha Mentality Podcast. And I feel like we almost have to reintroduce our names.
Doesn't it feel
right?
weird saying the Alpha Mentality? But it's been months, man. I feel like we're brand new to this.
Can't believe it, right? So Jeff and I, as you may know, or if you're trying to get more episodes, you may have seen that there hasn't been more because life has been lifing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been lifing big time, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's been happening in these last few months for you?
Man, I've been raising a baby, bro. That's what I've been doing this last couple months. My daughter is now 10 months old. And if you guys have been paying attention from season 1, season 2, we were talking about when my wife was pregnant, all those mood swings. They were great mood swings, by the way, babe. But now the baby's out full in control. The mood swings have not gone away, people, but we're dealing with them. So it's been good, man.
Yeah, man.
It's amazing being a dad.
I was just playing with his daughter behind camera before we turned on, man. She's so beautiful. Oh, my God. She's just smiling with just joy. I was watching you and Liz hold her, and I told him, I was like, man, like just like a year ago, this didn't even exist. There wasn't even like a bump in her belly, and now we got a full-blown 10-month-old. Man, life is so good, man.
She keep playing. She gonna get another bump in her belly.
He believes in becoming fruitful and multiplying, right? So lots been happening in that area. Lots been happening in the world as well too, man. Lots of stuff that's really kind of
interesting.
Have a conversation about.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's funny because I think obviously what we're talking about season 2, season 3, we're going to call this season 3, guys. We're going to start fresh for you guys. And I think one of the things that we really want to do is we kind of want to rebrand ourselves just a little bit, right? We want to give people a new, fresh take on what we have going on, the differences that we're actually doing in our lives, whether it's business, whether it's life. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy, what we got coming up for you guys in this new season, man.
Absolutely. Tons of topics as usual, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to talk to you guys from a space of we don't know it all, right? In fact, I think the importance of today is we're going to show you a lot of a great way to transition into things when, life starts to life and business starts to business. We're both entrepreneurs. Jeff runs a dog training business. Also, we're both in the financial industry, and lots of things come with that, right? Lots of obstacles, right? So I think that's a great transition to kind of lead us into right now. If you're listening to this conversation, you're listening to this just like right at the holiday season in 2023. And what most of us do around this time is if you have a business, things they've been pretty good for you, maybe listening to this podcast all year. You've been having a whole bunch of highs, and you may be getting ready to get met with a low of what we call the HoliWEEK or the HoliMONth, right? So our business has been transitioning big time this year, but we want to talk to you from a perspective of being entrepreneurs, not just working on a business, but actually being in it. And we want to give you some good business practices so that you can stay equipped during these seasons so that you don't begin to cool it off, right? Give me some examples on, like, if you're running a business and we kind of get in this mode where we got Thanksgiving coming up, right? Now people call Black Friday a holiday, which is weird to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You got Christmas, you got New Year's, right? Before we jump into the topic, like give me your perspective on like when you watch people, or maybe yourself, maybe in the past, kind of get in this mode where it's like, man, do I spend time eating more turkey or spend more time working in the business?
Well, it's funny because we call it the holiday season, and I think that's why a lot of people kind of get tripped up on that. It's a season to people, and we're kind of conditioned to think that way, right? And I know when I was a teacher for sure, because all I looked forward to was Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, all those breaks. Oh my God, that was time to actually chill. But then when you become an entrepreneur, you realize that, okay, during that time when I chill, someone else is working.
Oh, yeah.
And when that's happening, you have to kind of reflect and adjust. Do I cool it or do I keep going and separate during this time? So I think that's one of the topics we're going to really talk about. Like, this is kind of separation season. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's the best time to catch people because, so remember where that comes from. when we talk about cooling it off during the holiday season, a lot of that, by the way, is not your fault. It's not our fault. You have to really think about how we conditioned. We're taught to do something for a length of time, and then the reward is either a weekend, and right now that reward is the holiday. You get to spend time with the family. I mean, imagine not bouncing your daughter on your lap and playing with her and stuff. We're not saying don't do that, ladies and gentlemen, but we're talking about strictly having the discipline, having the alpha mentality, and making sure that you stay par or you get more aggressive in this season.
Right.
What would you say right now? We run a pretty big team, and we're watching some people really turn it on.
Absolutely.
But we're also watching some people kind of cool it off.
Absolutely. I think that's more a testament to the person's goals and the determination to achieve those goals. Because the people who have the bigger goals, they know they can't afford to cool it off right now. And the people who have lesser goals, well, they know they can afford to take a week or two off. And it shows.
Yeah.
Right? It shows in the results.
It's more of a reason, if you have a goal, why you should not cool it off.
Absolutely.
You have to have the ability to be consistent. I mean, consistency is, you've heard us talk about this in past conversations, just on this show, but we want to break down 5 points that we put together just to make sure that as you're listening to this in your car, you're at the gym, you're at home, maybe you're cleaning the house, maybe you're just in between times. We just want to give you a level of encouragement to say, hey, look, man, like we're human, we're all human, we all go through these things. But we want to make sure that you stay on track because this is just what we're learning right now to make sure we do, right? So why don't you go ahead and introduce the first point that we kind of carved out here?
Well, I think it's more so, kind of talking about what it is to have an alpha mentality during this season. And I think we talk a lot about, we tell our agents, don't go into HoliWEEK or HoliMONth mode, right? So if you can for us really quick, break down what you mean when you tell the agents, hey, be careful that HoliMONth doesn't take over right now.
Oh, it's very simple. You think about the momentum of anything. Okay, so I want you to picture this idea in your mind, right? I'm just trying to draw an illustration for the audience. If your job in order to be successful is to roll a big boulder up a hill, okay? That boulder takes time because it's a boulder. Not that you're in the boulder pushing business, but I just want to draw this illusion, so that we can use this comparison. So imagine pushing this boulder up the hill, and that hill is a mountain, and it takes you 11 months to get this thing up there, right? And you're almost at the top of that hill. Your momentum and your cooling off, if you say, to step aside because something is in place of, the momentum that you built up pushing the ball to the top of the hill, it will slow down once you get off of the pushing of the ball, right?
Right.
The object is to make sure that you finish the goal. But how do you do that when you take these elongated breaks that don't do anything but put you back at start point?
Yeah.
So what we want to do is help you kind of have the mentality to say that, look, you got to adapt this mentality to stay focused. Right. And focus is nothing more than follow one course until successful. Nice. But when we're looking at this focus and we're looking at the opportunity to have success, we have to get away from what we've been conditioned to take breaks. What would you say to the taking breaks part of building a business and then stopping and then going and, stop, go. What would you say to, somebody right now that's listening and like, well, Jeff, it's Thanksgiving.
Right.
I want to spend time with my family, right? What do you say to that?
There's nothing wrong with that, but you need to check how long you're taking a break for, right? Ed Milet talks about that when he was growing his business, he always talked about, I could take a day or two off, but that's it. If I'm taking a week off, I'm losing focus. I'm dying out. I'm cooling everything off. So, I think people really have to consider that, Thanksgiving is a day. That's it. The next day, you can go back to work if you want to. Let's say call it 2 days you take off. But by Saturday, Sunday, if you're still relaxing, still chilling, well, someone else is working.
Yeah.
Someone else is willing to do something. It's funny because I had a few clients that were inquiring for stuff, and they actually asked, hey, well, I know it's holiday season. I'm like, hey, look, it's a holiday, but I'm still going to work in between the other days, so don't worry about that. And they love that answer, and I got their business because they realized, okay, this person's about what they want to do. They're not just going to leave me cold turkey for the next couple weeks and shut down,
Yeah. 100% right there with you, brother, because you, in this season of separation, when people are flinching, when they're taking time off, when we call it separation, this is what allows you to gain the ground on people,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I'm not saying that has to be your sole purpose is to gain ground on people. But if you're, you know, if I got a lemonade stand set up on one side of the street
Right.
and you're the kid on the other side of the street and I know that you take time, you know, too many water breaks, then I'm going to get you, dude. I'm going to eat your freaking lunch, right?
Absolutely.
So I want you to focus, if you're listening to this, to capitalizing on the opportunity, right? Because when others slow down the season, what it does is that it opens up unique opportunities for those with an alpha mentality, right? Because your product, your service, that doesn't stop. The need for it doesn't stop.
It doesn't.
So why are you stopping? You know, and I mean, you haven't gained that level of success that you really want yet.
It's funny because if you really look at it from the entrepreneur standpoint, this is the perfect time for you to acquire more clients. Because if you really think about it, what are they doing? They're taking time off. So that means they have more time to spend with you.
Hell yeah.
If you're just asking for 30 minutes of the time, hey man, let me make this 30 minutes the most valuable time and I'm gonna let you get back to your family. People respect that. Not only that, this is a season of giving. So give as much value as you can and watch you reap the rewards out of it. But a lot of people are reaping those rewards by just taking too much time off and they're killing their blessing.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to spend time with family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, again,
absolutely.
You know, my nephew is in town right now, all the way from Chicago. You may hear him in the back making a bunch of noise, but the great thing about, you know, having the time with your family is that you want to spend that time, right? So you put it down. Thanksgiving, Christmas is coming up.
You mean put it down on your calendar, right?
Yeah, put it down, right? Absolutely. Schedule the time out with your family, right?
Absolutely.
But you must maintain that edge, which is my next point, right?
Yeah.
You have to maintain your edge, right? Businesses that adopt this mentality, they understand that the importance of staying ahead of competition is just to stay ahead.
Absolutely.
Like, why did I do all of this work and I'm trying to beat you? You know, like, why would I stop? And I know you're on my tail.
Yeah.
Because at one point in business, I was on somebody else's tail. So that same practice, it has to continue.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm competing with Jeff and I may not out loud say I'm competing with Jeff, but if I know he's good at some part with me, I can't beat him maybe at his craft of what maybe your competition, maybe they're just the best at what they do. But guess what? Everybody slips. Everybody flinches. Yeah. And they more than likely they flinch around this time of the year. And that's the greatest opportunity for you to come in and maybe take some clients, some customers, right? Maybe it's a great time for you to campaign a little bit more when somebody's...
Let's touch on campaign a little bit.
Okay, man. You go for that because you're the social media guru.
Yeah, campaigning right now, guys. If you're a business, entrepreneur, whatever it is, product, service that you sell, you offer, if you're not campaigning using the holidays, you're missing out. This is a time where you can get the most clients, right? I want you to consider what is the biggest day in the entire world, basically, where the most merchandise is sold. What day?
I'm going to go with Black Friday.
So if you sell a service or product, why aren't you offering a kind of deal on Black Friday so you can acquire those clients, those customers for yourself?
Oh, yeah.
You know, like it's one of those things. People are spending money at this time. So go give them some value and show them, hey, what if you could do this or X, Y, Z, whatever the case may be. But man, marketing campaign during this time, if you're not using it, you're losing.
So I'm going to throw something at you. And by the way, Jeff's about to be caught off guard with this. But I'm going to name a couple industries. And when we say launch a campaign, like strategic, just talk freely. What comes to mind? So I say I'm on social media, right? I got a business. I've had some success at it. I'm in hair care. How do I strategically, just example, give me an example. Like what would come to your mind? We need to launch a campaign. We need to make sure we stay on top of the competition. What are some things that just kind of come to your mind naturally?
Well, naturally, business tends to slow down for a lot of people during this time. So you should be offering some sort of discount, some sort of incentive. Like how good is the value that you're providing? Well, if you know you already provide a good value, how can you make it from good to great? How can you give something so good that people feel dumb saying no? And that's how you get the clients, right? So this is the perfect time to do it. Now, if you're able to attract those new clients during this time, guess what? They'll be your clients next year when it's not holiday season.
Yeah. That's so good, man. Stop the tape or rewind to Spotify, to Apple Music, right? That was so good because, again, this is when we talk about separation, this is a great way
Absolutely.
to, man, I wish you guys could really get inside of Jeff's brain when we talk about things like this, right? And by the way, this is a way for you to be able to provide exceptional service for people to remember you, right? You can introduce, like he said, an exciting promotion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I'm in hair care, I don't know, I may be like, you know, if I'm a barber, half off haircuts.
Something, man.
Because I know that other barber, guess what? He's gonna go spend time. He's gonna take, instead of a day off or 2 days off, he's gonna take a week, week and a half. And then when he comes back into business, it's gonna take him a week to get back into that groove.
Bro,
That's 2 weeks, dude.
This is when barbers lose a lot of clients because you go cheat on your barber. Hey, yo, this dude's actually pretty good now because my barber was off, so I'm gonna go with them. It happens.
I hope my barber's listening to this, right? You better not cool off. I got somebody else to want to cut my hair. Right? So again, we talked about the alpha mentality during this season. We always talked about, you know, capitalizing on this opportunity that you have right now, maintaining that competitive edge. What's the next point?
The next point, I think, is maximizing that seasonal spirit. And I think what a lot of people fail to do during this time is appreciate the clients and the customers that you already have. This is the season of giving. Man, if you ain't sending some thank you cards to your clients for everything they did, hey, yo, grateful for you. Thank you so much. I shoot him a gift card. Dude, we just sent some lady that, you know, she helped us out in the financial services business. We were able to protect 14 members of her family.
Jeez.
She got a nice little gift card, $100 to go eat somewhere. And then I know Liz also sent her like, I think $50. She wanted to go watch a movie. Dude, she got $150 from us.
That's crazy because I had a big client last year about this time. Well, a little like October-ish. And same thing. I sent him just a thank you, and I sent him just some dinner, you know, gift cards. And I just told him, hey, man, I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
You know, I know many people don't make it through these seasons. And I just want to tell you, thank you for being a loyal client, you know, being here with us. And, man, he sent me 3 big clients right now. And I'm just like, wow. So that's so true when you say that, right?
Man.
When you talk about maximizing the real holiday spirit, right? This is a season of giving.
Absolutely.
And it is, you know, this often said, is referenced in the Bible, it's better to give than receive. And as long as you give, you're in a winning situation.
Absolutely, because it's going to come back to you twofold, man. Like people appreciate your sincerity. People love that you didn't treat them like a number. And I think that's what happens too often. You get the client, you forget about them, you know? And that's why I think we kind of talk about the difference between customers and clients. Customers are one time, clients are forever.
That's true.
Right? So I think if you treat everyone like a client, that you're always going to be there for them, man, it comes back twofold to you.
Okay, so some of us right now, we're listening to this and we're hearing, okay, I don't have that really going the way that I want to right now. Okay. Maybe they understand the importance, the significance of building up that client base. And they're like, man, I can't even afford to cool it right now.
Right.
Like I'm building. And by the way, I've been there. Like, oh God, holidays are coming. I don't have no money, dude. I ain't got 2 nickels to rub together.
Yeah.
My dad used to say, boy, you ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, right?
Yeah.
And that was definitely me at some point. There are other ways where you can become strategic. You can get on social media, right? You can start talking about what it is that you have to offer, the solution that you have to offer your client base, right? You know, one of the things that we're doing right now, I'm just giving you guys we're spitfiring some ideas, is, okay, maybe our clients, maybe they'll cool down because every business has its ebbs and flow period.
Right.
But then there's other ways to give too, because we have agents like tonight. We're getting ready to take these guys to some Lakers games, right? And that's going to be a fun thing to do, right?
Great, man. I'm excited.
That's the holiday season. That's the spirit of giving, right?
Absolutely.
But what this ultimately does, and, you know, kind of wrapping up our conversation, is that it builds a strong foundation.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about certain brands, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Amazon, right? You start to think about maybe the character of that company. Maybe a commercial comes to mind. Maybe a catchphrases came to mind, right? But individuals who do this and have an alpha mentality, they understand the consistency and perseverance are key to long-term success. What do you say to that?
You can't take a break, man. If success doesn't take a break, you can't either. I think it's that. And you just mentioned something so key. You mentioned just Coca-Cola. The moment you said that, you think a commercial comes to mind. Dude, I already thought about a Coca-Cola commercial during the holidays that plays every single year. They know that's the best time to get on top of their competition. How many other soda companies do you see actually creating holiday commercials? Not many.
No.
Not many, but they do.
No.
That's where they're on top of everything. Yeah. So, yeah, man, success doesn't take a break.
It doesn't. And ultimately what this plays into is that this builds into the brand of you. You know, people, when they buy a product or service, they're looking not for that particular product or service. They're looking for the reputation.
Right.
They're looking for the consistency. They're saying, can I count on this person over and over and over? And as long as you're consistent, and as long as you're not cooling it, right? As long as you're not flinching, then guess what? You will be the brand. You will be the representation for whatever that account, that client may be. Yeah. And I tell you, it brings you long-term success.
It really does, because at least people know, man, the way they treated me, I'm pretty sure they treat everyone else like that. They're going to be in business for a very long time. I can count on them to be there year after year after year for me.
That's so true, man. That's so true, right? So we really wanted to kind of touch a few topics here today, man, you know, introducing again back into the atmosphere, the conversations that we have, man. And if you think this is good, right, all we want you to do is continue, you know, like, subscribe, comment, you know, down below, whatever platform you're on, whether that's, you know, Apple or Spotify and YouTube, wherever you listen to this at, right? And just let us know, you know, some honest feedback, because, you know, we grow from that. You know, how can we grow from what we don't know?
Can't. You got to know. And that only happens when people like you just tell us straight up, man. We love real feedback, guys. So don't sugarcoat it with us. We like it raw.
Yeah,
so
we
just
do.
Let us know.
We do, right? So again, you know, this is the Alpha Mentality Podcast. This is Otis. That's me. This is Jeff. And you guys can follow us on our socials, right? You can find ways to, you know, get in touch with us.
Absolutely.
We speak to a variety of different audiences, not just, you know, within our industry, because our industry is transferable. It can connect with a lot of different models, and it'll help you keep your business practices strong throughout this holiday season, right? So I'll land my side of the plane. I'm on the right wing. He's on the left wing. You can touch it down softly, brother.
I appreciate you, man. So, I mean, this episode will be dropping right after Thanksgiving. So regardless, we want to wish you guys all a happy Thanksgiving and a happy New Year and a Merry Christmas, man. So we hope you guys are with us for the holidays, and we hope you guys have a great one with your families. Peace.